Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Galactic Goddess Podcast and TV. I'm your host, Radhanelia, coming to you from beautiful Monaco. And I have a lot to share with you today. This show is called Releasing Resistance and Allowing Grace. Now, what inspired me for this show was a few things that have come up in the energy fields of the projects that I'm doing, as well as something that happened on my trip. So, it's interesting how the universe always shows us where we need to grow and how we can grow. It gives us beautiful opportunities. Of course, they're never beautiful when we're going through them. So I want to talk to you first about my book launch. It's not just actually my book launch. I'm holding sacred space for a group of people in Awakening Starseeds. And we created a beautiful book called Awakening Starseeds. One thing that has been going on with that behind the scenes, and I will share a little behind the scenes, is that a lot of people, it's a first time coming out of the spiritual closet. There's a lot of energetic resistance in this project, and resistance can even be unconscious, right? So long story short, we had the release date for June 23rd. Super excited. The book was done. We had it edited. In fact, not only had we edited it once, but maybe over 30 times. The reason being is that we have been working on Word and Kindle for the editing, and we found out after many, many times that we would get it perfect and then we would submit it, that it would change. Like everything would change. Words would move, letters were missing. It was very bizarre. So we're like, this is not us. Let's call. So we called. Kindle admitted and Word that their apps have a bug in them. Okay. So we were like, are you kidding me? It would have really helped to know this way back in our first attempt, when we thought we were going nuts because there was all of this mishap going on, this chaos going on, and it all had to do with their app having a bug. And actually, I talked to a couple other authors and the same thing had happened. So finally, we got that resolved, right? We took action on it. When resistance comes up or when things come up, your job is not to just surrender. It's actually to take initiative and take action. A lot of people think that means giving up. And we're not quitters. Of course, we didn't give up. So we got that straightened out. And that took at least 3 weeks, okay? We got that straightened out. And then we got a new app and we uploaded everything. And usually it takes about 48 to 72 hours to get approved. This time we didn't get a response at all. It looks like everything's fine, but we didn't get a response. And then for Publish Drive, guess what? They were out of town for a couple weeks. They're on vacation till the 23rd, the day of our launch. So wild, you guys. The coincidences or whatnot have been uncanny. So we accepted that Publish Drive because no one was answering their email or their information. So basically we were like, okay, literally there's no one here. Literally they say they're out of town. They're all on a group vacation. So we're just going to surrender this and we're going to find another way. So we went and found an alternative way. They said they're reviewing it, but it usually takes 72 hours. It's been over a week and we haven't gotten any responses but bots. So actually we did get some responses, and I believe they were like, this is fine, or this is cool. I believe they approved it, right? I'm not totally dealing with the aspect of the technical issues, but I do know what's going on. when we were working through formatting. It was, of course, our chief technical advisor, Mike, and Maya, and they worked. I mean, those people put in so many hours, overtime, because every time they did it, they'd have to redo it all over again because the words were splattered everywhere. And it's kind of nuts that like a huge app that you pay for, like Word, that everybody uses, that they didn't have, I don't know, the common sense, the decency, the guts to tell people the truth that their app has a glitch in it. This is something I had also experienced with Galactic Goddess. We spent 3 months formatting the book, and it should have taken 1 week. And it was Kindle had a bug in it. So when I got my book, guess what? Half of the book, when I ordered my copies, were twice the size as the other half. There were letters missing. I almost cried. And then we found out, we called them, and they literally admitted they like messed up. So they told me they're going to fix it and take care of everything. So I thought they had gotten over their glitch because that was a while ago. And I thought they had handled it because they said they were fixing it. They were taking care of it. Anyhow, long story short, glitch. I don't know the full details because I have been traveling, but the 411 is that on the 23rd, on our launch day, we had uploaded the Starseeds file, and I believe the Galactic Goddess book came forward. Absolutely crazy. I mean, totally nuts. And crazy because that was something we didn't do, like 1,000%. That was not on us. That like the Kindle pulled up another file, and it was just unbelievable. So our launch date has been moved to June 30th. And we've been like, I mean, everyone's freaking out because we made these big announcements, and there is literally nothing we can do about it. If Kindle wants to glitch out on us and go crazy, that's on them. We cannot do anything. We worked so hard on this book. It is nuts. Mike and I and Maya, we spent 6 months of our life devoted to this, and this is a project that we did for the collective, right? So we were even giving, and we are giving the book away for free. This is not something like, oh, we're planning on making so much money on that day. Like, this is our service to humanity, right? This is a project that has light work all over it. This is infused and encoded with megawatts of galactic light coming through. And so we're like, okay, I mean, there's just absolutely no explanation. So we had to tell everybody, hey, it's not happening. Of course, people are very upset. We are very upset. We're volunteering pretty much on this whole project and doing it because it's our soul's calling. We're the ones that have had to deal with all the headaches and everything, and the lack of integrity with these companies. And, we really thought we've been targeted like that because the work we're doing is so light and bright that like the dark forces, the dark minions, have definitely felt like they've been messing with the work that we've been doing. So, we've been doing a lot of energetic prayers. And the other thing that came up was, for me, and one of the authors mentioned it, that also it's like collective energy, because we are pushing forward something that has a lot of different people's consciousness in it. And a lot of people, like, this is a big push for them. This is them coming out of the spiritual closet and coming out. And so there's something I want to just mention here. And this is 100% not blaming. It's just mentioning that collective resistance can create stagnation. So I'm just saying this so people can learn from it. Please do not get offended. Don't think I'm talking about you. If you're watching this, I'm just talking about experience. I'm talking about collective energy, because this is collective energy. I have very strong willpower. I push projects forward. I mean, I make things happen. There have always, when I do work that is divine, like with the Galactic Goddess, there was energetic resistance. The dark didn't like what I was talking about. I talk about a lot of things that, are just sort of bringing things out to the surface, right? But I was a stand for it. So it came forward no matter what. And I'm a stand for this book, Awakening Starseeds, no matter what. It's coming forward no matter what. So what if it's delayed? Big freaking deal. We're giving it away. It's a gift, right? People can wait for a gift another week. So of course we're upset. Of course we're sad. Of course we're apologetic. But at the same time, when there's nothing you can do and things are out of your hands, the most you can do is release and surrender and get the heck out of your own way. So this is what I want to say about collective consciousness, is that and I'm just using this as an example because it's very important, because as we are doing things in the world, as we are like doing bigger things, and I'm not just talking about the book, I'm talking about, we want to create new policies. We want to create new ways of doing business. We want to create new ways of manifesting different scenarios, right? So we're bringing in new ideas, and the collective consensus, all right, write that down. The collective consensus has everything to do with that. Everything. Collective consensus. That is the unconscious consensus of people, right? So there are things going on in the world, and if we know about it and we're just like, ho hum, I can't do anything about it, or whatever, that is a collective yes. If we are like, that's not right, I'm not allowing that, even in our hearts and our minds, and we are collectively saying no, that's a collective consensus, right? A lot of things would stop happening through our collective consensus. One reason why Monsanto is getting their asses handed to them is because a collective consensus is saying, no, thank you. We don't need that crappy, gross food that is not even real, that is totally genetically modified. And frankly, we're too smart to be accepting that BS. Why should we? I'm in Europe right now. I had the best lunch of my life in France. And I kept saying, you know what? I cannot believe this food. Like even on the way over, like my flight, I had meals, right, that came with my flight. And I was eating this salad and it just tasted so crappy. Just the lettuce itself tasted like chemicals, and I couldn't eat anything on the flight. I was munching, a couple bites, but I could not eat it. Here, I feel like I have such a good appetite because the food here is so good. And it's weird. My appetite is not as big in the US sometimes because anyhow, the food does not taste the same. It doesn't taste fresh, right? A lot of times we have to really go out of our way. So collective consensus, whether it be conscious or conscious, if anybody in our group was like, I'm not ready for this, or I'm not sure, or whatever the consensus is, that stuff can slow us down too. Regardless, it's been a lot of energy that I feel like Mike and I are pushing forward this energy, pushing it forward. And people just need to get out of their own way. We have to get out of our own way and just get out of the way. Get out of the way. It's called unfucking yourself. Who you were before all of this bullshit happened. You got to do that. And, I had a prime example on the trip here. I had to stop to New York. Anyhow, my luggage did not make it. And I was like freaking out because, this is Monaco. It's not exactly the place to go shopping. This is a place where, it's like Prada, Gucci, Chanel. Like, I'm not going to get sundresses there. Okay. So it was 2 days and I've been wearing the same jumpsuit. Okay. And so I was like, there's two ways I can go about this. I can either just like freak out, or I can just choose to let it go. and trust that things are going to work out. So I did freak out a little bit, like to myself. I was like, okay, this is unreal. I packed for this. I prepared for this. I even got clothes for my trip. And now I don't have anything, not even a brush. I couldn't, like my hair, I haven't even brushed my hair, you guys. That's why I keep touching it, because I haven't even brushed it like since I left. I literally washed my hair, ran to the airport, got on a plane, and haven't seen my luggage. So I was like, okay, I am going to release that, like that panicky feeling with grace and ease. I am going to release resistance. That is what I'm going to do. I'm choosing to release resistance, because my resistance to not having this is actually creating more separation from my luggage. So today, I had a beautiful, amazing day. Amazing. I went to one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in France today. The most beautiful gardens, the most beautiful lunch, the most beautiful experiences. I was releasing resistance to not having what I thought I should have. And then lo and behold, it was evening, and I asked if they had dropped off my luggage, and still nothing. And then right before I was about to leave the office, the lady says, "Oh my gosh, they just brought it in." I was like, "What?" I was pleasantly surprised, but I had released the resistance to not having it, and it showed up. So I just want to invite you anywhere in your life that you are resisting what you don't have, resisting what you think you should have, resisting the feeling of like, I don't have this or I need this. What happens if you just take a deep breath and just let go of the BS? Okay, just let it go, because we cannot control everything. We can do everything in our power, and we always should do everything in our power. Always. That doesn't mean you get a free pass. You got to do everything in your power to make things right. But at the end of the day, if it's not working and you did everything in your power and it's a third party situation, you got to learn to let go. I mean, I called the airlines, and I couldn't even get through to anybody. So my lesson that I've gotten so far is that there's this thing called collective consensus. The sooner that we can all understand that, the sooner we can all be on the same page, right? Our resistance to what we think we should have or don't have creates more of what we don't have or should have. I mean, more space between what we think we should have. So today's lesson, kids, is I'm inviting you to think about what can you release resistance to, meaning what can you choose to let go of. So if the book didn't turn out the way that we all thought it was supposed to turn out, what can you release around that? What subconscious fears can you release? Like fears like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of people reading my book. The resistance of it coming out. And or what resistance can you release anywhere in your life, right? Because we are being invited, and this acceleration is happening. And yes, my hair is wild and I haven't brushed it and whatever. Okay. That's just how it is. I'm releasing resistance to having good hair right now. Because this message is way more important than me having good hair, right? Because it's a message that we have to release resistance. And then how can we fall into grace and ease? So grace and ease would be, I'm choosing to surrender. I can't control everything right now. And no matter how hard I worked, no matter what I did, no matter how much I called the airlines, no matter how much we called Kindle Direct or Publish Drive, right? Like it just wasn't happening. We could email them all day long and still they're telling us they're on vacation. So what do I need to release resistance around? The control that things have to be perfect. that it has to go exactly. This is a gift, right? This is a gift to people. We're giving something away for free. We all worked hard. We especially worked hard behind the scenes on it. So what can I give up in this process? So I give up that things have to be perfect because I have no choice. And I'm inviting you to join me. What can you give up? Where in your life do you feel like things have to be perfect? Or it's going to ruin your life, or it's going to ruin your day, or it's going to ruin your week? Where can we give up? Because all of us are purging. We're being asked to let go, to release resistance, and to release what no longer serves us. And I find that the more that I go with the flow, the more that I let go. Because I mean, I've been pushing this project the whole time, pushing. And maybe or maybe not everyone has been ready. I don't know, and so I release the need to control that. I trust that it's coming out. It is coming out no matter what. It is coming out. That I know. And is it going to be amazing? Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And are we still going to do a series? Yeah, we're still going to do a series, and it's going to be amazing. And can I let go in some areas? Yes, I can let go in many areas, and I'm choosing to, because I choose to be happy. I choose to release anything I can't control. I've been going through that. This lesson has been coming up so much. It started with this project, and then it started also with my dog Bella, who had been struggling for her life, and we had no idea what was going on with her. I took her to 4 vets, right? And none of them gave me any useful information. They pretty much just said, well, she's going to die. And do you want to put her to sleep? And she had 2 appointments to go to sleep. But guess what? She needed heart medication. She has symptoms of congestive heart failure. And it was no vet told me that, right? It was an outside source, and it was a universe. And so as of now, she is still alive. And, I asked people for prayers because she had plans to go to sleep, to end the suffering. I mean, I was a mess, but I was ready to let go, you guys. Like I cried so much. I couldn't cry anymore. My heart was broken beyond anything I've ever gone through. And all I could do was surrender, right? And ironically, when I surrendered and I made the appointment, then I got told like, hey, put her on this medication. And I did. And it's been helping her. Is it perfect? No. It's not perfect, but she's alive and she's breathing well. And so she can still live. And I don't know how long. I have to let go of that too. I have got to let go. And I'm noticing that it's so hard. It's so hard because in many times in my life, there have been a lot of things that have been out of my control or out of control, right? I couldn't control them. And we want safety and control. The feeling of control makes us feel safe. For some people, that's holding back and hoarding. It could be hoarding information. It could be hoarding love. It could be hoarding anything. For others, they want to give. And I'm learning how to say, okay, universe, I give everything, right? In the work that I do, I give everything. To my dog, I give her everything. I love her. I give her all my love. I do anything for her. So at the end of the day, it's the choice is not always going to be mine, right? We have to learn to surrender to the divine. Isn't that part of it? Like 50% of it is like taking action, doing everything in your power that you can do, showing up and showing up again. And then the other is surrendering. And it's like, ooh, how do you find that balance? And it's not easy. I am no expert. Like this is something I'm still working on. And, you know, in my life, in many situations, like I had to take control because when things, if they became out of control, I had to. It it's good because I built a very strong willpower. I built, um, you know, that's when I started doing energy work, and I realized, oh, hey, I have an influence on this energy. But there are times when that's not applicable, when the universe needs to show you something else. So if there's anything in your life right now that is coming up as resistance in any way, like this isn't working out the way I want it to, or I need this to happen this way, I'm just going to invite you as your friend, you know, to open up to the possibility that maybe there's something you can let go of. Maybe there's something you can release. And when that happens, just watch. I mean, I got my clothes tonight, day 2, at the end of the day, and I wanted to take cute pictures, but I couldn't because I was wearing the same boring outfit, you know? So like, and I went to the most beautiful garden, but I was much more in the moment, right? I was really into everything that I was seeing. And it was absolutely amazing, amazing. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. So I'm in total gratitude. I'm truly learning to trust the divine so much more. Not everything is going to go the way I want it or need it to go. And there's always a place for me to surrender. So with that all being said, I'm just integrating all of these lessons, and I'm asking you, if there's anything coming up in your life, where can you release resistance, and how can you fall more into grace and with ease? And with that, I love you guys so very, very much. You know that no matter where I am, thinking of all my beloveds, my community, my star seeds, and that is not going to change. I know this is going to be an amazing book coming out, because it is an amazing book. It's just a matter of when the platform is going to release it. As of now, it's June 30th. So here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Anyhow, all my love and blessings to you. Have patience and have trust in the divine. All is well. Much love.